I'm seeing something about Atlantis. The choices leading to a dissolving. We chose to go more into separation. So when I tune into this individual question, what's important and helpful for us to know about Lemurian and Atlantis civilizations? One is that they existed, and I can see it, specifically Atlantis is what I'm seeing right now, existed in another dimensional space. So it's a little bit maybe confusing to look at, but what I'm seeing is that everything is now. And specifically, I'm seeing Lemuria is very much within the same sort of parallel. It's almost a parallel, and Atlantis is existing on a higher vibration. Very interesting to see this. And this relates to the download that I got the other day, which is that everything is concurrent. And to remember that everything is happening now. Even our past lives, they're happening now. All of the multitude of possibilities for this moment, they're all happening now. And how do we choose what's happening now? How do we exist within what we desire to exist in if all is happening now? We allow ourselves to focus on it. We focus within the energetic experience of what we desire. And then what that does is it sort of coagulates all of our energy into that expression. We call it timelines, but they're not linear. Everything is a moment. Everything is now. And so we bring ourselves predominantly into a specific energetic expression, and then that's what we experience. We bring ourselves into that energetic expression through focus. Let me flesh out a little bit why I'm seeing that Lemuria is very much a parallel that's sort of existing next to us, and Atlantis is sort of this almost a higher frequency. The reason that this guidance is coming through specifically is to show us that the level of choice that we have for existing where we desire to exist is very much within our power. Right now on human Earth, those of you who are within this human experience that we are collectively viewing, there's a lot of what we would call turmoil. There's a lot shifting. There's a lot transmuting. There's a lot changing. And for many people, it feels very scary. And we're witnessing it. We're viewing it, I would say, with attachment, because to witness it is without attachment. So we're viewing it with attachment. Attachment is there has been a taking of the power that's within and putting it into the external reality, believing that our power is external to us. And then once the power is out here and it's not within here, I have this feeling of wanting to attach to it because I'm trying to get my power back. So that's the nature of attachment. Attachment is reaching for that power external to ourselves because we've placed it outside of ourselves, because we view the external creation as the reality instead of viewing the internal creation as reality. So we're creating this need for attachment because we're placing our power externally to ourselves. So we can see that when we bring our power back within, and what that really means is knowing that the creator is right here. Our power is within. And therefore, we are able to be creators. We don't feel the need to attach to anything external to ourselves. We witness that we are the ones navigating all of this, and not even navigating it, we're steering it. We're creating it and then moving within it and creating and moving within it. And this is all happening at once. So back to this question of what Atlantis and Lemuria have to teach us. In both of these very powerful timelines or expressions of civilizations, what we're witnessing is we have sort of soul memories of the future, because all of this is now. So we have soul memories of the future of when we've collectively made different choices and how they have shifted us. Again, I'm seeing something about Atlantis, the choices leading to a dissolving. We chose to go into regression of some form. We chose to go more into separation. And so time is really interesting as I view all of this, because it's sort of going future, current, parallel. And I have to admit, it's a bit beyond my human scope of understanding. understanding. So I'm just describing it the best way that I can. But what this is really showing us in our current experience and expression, right? Experience is expression. What we're experiencing is what we are expressing through our own divine template. It's coming into the collective expression, and then we witness it. But we get to witness where we want to be within the collective expression. And remember, the key is to be the witness and to allow ourselves to focus without attachment from a place of choice, not from a place of default. So we're seeing different parallels and different future expressions of civilizations, of humans with different levels of consciousness. So the to be a bit redundant, the difference within these civilizations was where human consciousness was at collectively. So in both of these expressions of a collective reality, consciousness was pretty high. I'm seeing that Atlantis, it was very, very high specifically. And even from those high frequency states, choices were made that created a fall. But that's not quite true either, because what happened was exactly what's happening now, which is those who were expressing a continued higher vibration moved into realms where they could continue to express that high vibration. And collectively, the choice was made to bring things into lower vibrations again. It's almost as if we didn't learn what we needed to, or we didn't experience what we desired. And so we're going to kind of go into these denser layers again and have more of those dense expressions. It's so funny. I almost can't say the word experience. It keeps coming out as expression, because that's truly what it is. An experience is an expression of our own divine light that we then feel that we're walking through. We get to sort of remember what we just expressed through walking through it. That's our 3D reality. What did I just express? I'm going to sort of walk within it and remember it while within the illusion of it. And then that will create my experience. We don't realize that it's actually every moment that we're walking within is a remembrance of what we just expressed. So that's where we get this idea of a time delay within manifestation. So these other civilizations, they were powerful because the collective frequency that we were existing in was very high. And there's this feeling of there were many beings that were not within that high expression, and we were gathering them. And then we decided to close those civilizations and dive back into the denser realities again, because there was something that we didn't learn. Remember that collective is who we are, that we are the collective. So, if one person seems to not be getting it, that's actually part of the whole soul of the collective expression. So there's no separation. So it's sort of like, well, if you look like you're lagging behind, there's something that collectively we haven't experienced yet. And so with our current reality, how do we navigate this, knowing what just came through? We witness all on the collective human playing field as aspects of ourselves. Every person is simply an aspect of the collective, which is us. And so if we see something external to ourselves and we don't like it, go within and let that mirror back. See, we have this ease of understanding, at least many of us do, that when we're interacting with people on a person-to-person basis and something uncomfortable happens, it's simply them mirroring to us what we expect or what we believe about ourselves or what we believe about our own reality. It's being projected, and then they're mirroring it to us. So many of us know this, but then we forget and we lose that clarity within the collective landscape. And we think that somehow countries or politicians or trees or on and on, we think that that's not us, that's not a mirroring of us, but it absolutely is. Our perception of what's going on is mirroring back to us what's going on within. And so anything that we see, quote unquote, external to us is always a mirror. It's vitally important that we take our power back from all of these expressions and witness them as expressions of ourselves. That doesn't mean taking responsibility for what somebody else is doing. What that means is, if this situation or this person is triggering me, what is it within that is feeling that this layer of reality is true? Let me make that more clear. If I meet somebody and they are very rude to me and they are very harsh and critical of me, what that is an expression. Again, that word expression just keeps coming through. It is a mirroring of my own sense of value, my own sense of self-worth, or it might be that I believe that the world is harsh because I was taught some form of harshness in my life, and then I've continued that. So I can witness them as a mirror. Now, many of us understand that. But what about countries warring? What about something going on in the collective? What about these fires that are happening? We're looking at them as mirrors, not as a way to hide our heads in the sand or to other it or to somehow make it less real. What we're doing is we're starting to really witness that we're the creators, and we're taking our power back from these externalized situations that we're viewing, and we're saying, okay, what does this represent in me? Is it mirroring it as an exact clone? Meaning, is this person mirroring back conflict because I am conflicted within and I am angry? Or is this person mirroring back conflict because I believe that I have no self-worth? So sometimes the mirror is parallel, sometimes it's the equal and opposite. We can't expect it to be the exact same, but it is mirroring some form of misalignment within ourselves in our own divine template being blocked through programs or ideas. And that is making the projection through our divine template look disjointed. So as we get more comfortable with all of this, we start to see that everything is part of our creation, individual creation and collective creation, and all is now. So if we desire to live in a specific experience in the future, it is now. How can we navigate ourselves internally to that expression and that experience? That's up to us. And we do it through presence. Because when we are present, we are attuning to the all is now truth. There are beings, they're currently existing within Atlantis and within Lemuria. It's all sort of soul echoes. It's very interesting to view it. And I have to say, it is difficult for me to portray it. I know more information will come through on this.